Today I want to talk about why we should always trust in God. Trusting in God is the foundation of a strong spiritual life. It is a source of comfort, guidance, and strength, especially during times of uncertainty and difficulty. Trusting in God gives us peace of mind. In a world full of chaos and unpredictability, knowing that there is a higher power who has a plan for us can bring immense peace. It allows us to release our worries and fears, knowing that God is in control and that everything will work out according to His divine plan. God's wisdom is infinite. Unlike us, God sees the bigger picture. He knows what is best for us, even when we do not understand the circumstances we are facing. By trusting in God, we acknowledge that His knowledge surpasses our own and we open ourselves to His guidance and direction. God's love is unconditional. He loves us more than we can ever comprehend. This love is steadfast and unwavering, regardless of our mistakes or shortcomings. Trusting in God means believing in this love and knowing that it will never fail us. When we trust in God, we find strength in times of weakness. Life can be challenging and we all experience moments when we feel overwhelmed. Trusting in God gives us the strength to persevere, knowing that we are not alone. God is always with us, providing the courage and resilience we need to face any obstacle. God's promises are reliable. Throughout sacred scriptures, God has made many promises to His people, promises of peace, protection, and provision. Trusting in God means believing that He will fulfill these promises. It reassures us that we can depend on His word and that He will always be faithful. Trusting in God helps us find purpose. It gives our lives meaning and direction. And when we trust in God, we understand that we are part of a greater plan and that our lives have a divine purpose. This sense of purpose can motivate and inspire us to live according to it. Trusting in God fosters hope. Even in the darkest times, trust in God instills hope in our hearts. It reminds us that there is always light at the end of the tunnel and that with God, all things are possible. This hope can sustain us through trials and tribulations. Trusting in God encourages humility. It reminds us that we are not in control of everything. By surrendering our will to God, we acknowledge our limitations and open ourselves to His guidance. This humility allows us to grow spiritually and become more aligned with God's timing is perfect. Often, we are impatient and want immediate answers or results. Trusting in God means believing that His timing is perfect, even when it differs from our own. It teaches us patience and the importance of waiting for His perfect timing. Trusting in God leads to a life of contentment. When we trust that God will provide for our needs, we can find contentment in any circumstance. We are less likely to be anxious about the future or regretful about the past. Instead, we can live in the present, assured of God's provision and care. When we trust in God, we are able to forgive more easily. Understanding that God has a plan and purpose for everything, including our interactions with others, helps us let go of grudges and we can forgive as God forgives us, fostering healthier relationships and a more peaceful heart. Trusting in God deepens our relationship with Him. It is a continuous act of faith that draws us closer to God. As we trust Him more, we become more attuned to His voice and His presence in our life. This deepened relationship brings us spiritual fulfillment and joy. Trusting in God brings a sense of security. Knowing that the Creator of the universe is looking out for us gives us a profound sense of safety and security. We can face life's uncertainties with confidence, knowing that God's protective hand is always upon us. Trusting in God transforms our perspective. It helps us see our circumstances through a lens of faith. we learn to look beyond immediate challenges and recognize the potential for growth and blessing. This perspective shift allows us to approach life with optimism and resilience. God's guidance is always available. Trusting in God means seeking His wisdom in all our decisions. Through prayer, meditation, and studying sacred texts, we can discern His will for our lives. This divine guidance helps us make choices that lead to peace and fulfillment. Trusting in God brings unity and harmony. When we trust in God, we are more likely to seek peace and reconciliation in our relationships. This trust fosters a spirit of love and understanding, promoting harmony in our homes, communities, and the world. Trusting in God helps us overcome fear. Fear can be paralyzing, but faith in God gives us the courage to move forward despite our fears. It reminds us that God is greater than any challenge we face and that His power is at work in our lives. Trusting in God cultivates gratitude. Recognizing God's presence and provision in our lives fills us with thankfulness. This gratitude enriches our spiritual life and helps us maintain a positive and joyful attitude, regardless of our circumstances. Trusting in God leads to a legacy of faith. By living a life of trust, we set an example for others, especially for our children and future generations. Our faith can inspire those around us to develop their own trust in God, creating a lasting. In conclusion, always trusting in God is a profound and transformative journey. It brings peace, strength, hope, and purpose to our lives. It deepens our relationship with the divine and guides us through life's uncertainties with confidence and grace. Let us commit to nurturing our trust in God every day. Let us face each challenge with faith, knowing that God's love and wisdom are always with us. With trust in God, we can live lives filled with peace, joy, and fulfillment.